this is David Tangney, and we're about to play some Outer Wilds.
Hello everyone, just turn that down a bit because I can't hear myself think. There we go. Let me just make sure everything's set up here, and that seems to be all good. Streams to be a bit lagged on the camera front. Let me see if there's anything. Oh, there you go. It's caught up now, I think. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, everyone can hear me okay. Just tweaking microphones. I will turn the audio up on their stream when I'm able to. But whilst we're warming up, we got the Outer Wilds musicians just playing, warming up the crowd, I guess. We got chat open, so hello to Sergey, OS3, Victor, hello everyone else that's watching, either on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Mixer, wherever you are. So yeah, today is a different kind of thing. It's a normal Ryan's React, but we're reacting to the Gamefest, Summer Gamefest announcements, including the new Crash Bandicoot. I normally wouldn't do this, but the last time I didn't do this, they announced Unreal Engine 5, so I guess I should try and do as many of these as possible. So, hello and welcome. So, if you don't know what this is a chance for me to give you my insight as a game developer, and give you my opinions on things, tell you how things could be working, what choices I've made in business sense versus developer sense, whatever it may be. Just applying that sort of understanding to things you're seeing rather than just being just critical or reflective upon what we actually are seeing. So the only thing we do know about today is they're going to show off the new Crash Bandicoot Foregone, which is exciting because I'm a big fan of Crash Bandicoot. I thought I loved the remastered trilogy. I thought it was really good. So yes, hopefully we see some good reveals of some games. I have no idea what the content is for this yet. All I know is Crash Bandicoot, and the Alf character is going to be in it. If you don't know what Alf is, like a puppet. Don't know why. It's a weird choice, but whatever. I've got chat open, so if you do have any questions, we can take some questions. Obviously, not doing any Unreal 4 at the moment. For those who don't know, I have started a brand new long-form series called the FPS RPG series. The first episode went up last night for Patreon members and YouTube members. So if you want to watch it right now, you can donate just $1 and become a patron and get access to that video, plus many, many more. Hello, Troy. Hello, Aitor, Jamie, Michael. Hello, everyone. OS3, can you make a multiplayer in UE4 without C++? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. Depends on what you want to do with it, but yeah. And GV Sun Studio. Hi, I'm from Brazil. I was wondering if you knew how to make a joystick for mobile. That mobile motion button. Yeah, so you by default will come with a mobile setup, but essentially you need to go to input settings and your project settings, and you'll find mobile buttons. You can click on that and it'll give you an array where you can choose what the image is and what properties that image has when you click on it. So check that out. By the way, if you haven't played the Outer Wilds, please play the Outer Wilds. It's an amazing independent game with amazing music. In fact, let's turn this music up a little bit and just listen listen for a little bit. The stream on my screen, like, let's actually load up what you guys are seeing, because it looks delayed on mine. Hang on. Let's have a look, see what it's looking like on your screens. Yeah, it's frozen on your screen as well. So why is that frozen? That's going to be an issue. Let's see if I can refresh it somehow. Properties. Not too sure why it's freezing like that. Let me just hide it and maybe show it again. Nope. Let's change that back. For some reason the video overlay isn't working. How can I fix this? Don't know. This is a good time to do it. We've got 10 minutes until the start, or 9 minutes now. So let's see if I can figure out why this is not working. Let's go back to starting soon. Yeah, trying to force it to actually do something. Oh. It's all going wrong. Hang on. Properties. That's that fixed. I can't get this to be fixed. Hang on. Let's add another window capture to this. Add source. No. Okay, hang on. Let's go to studio mode and let's work this out. So, need to add. Sorry, I haven't got chat open at the moment. Oh, I'm trying to fix this screen here so you can actually see the live stream. For Pete's sake. Okay, I've got an idea. Let's do this. Right, okay, I think it's only one of my graphics card settings. Okay. Let's make that a bit bigger. There we go. Just need to tweak the cropping on this. Oh god, this is a pain in the bum. Hang on. Move that down here so I can actually see what the hell I'm looking for. Okay. Oh dear me. Okay, let's crop this a bit more. On the right, we'll go 750. 100? 500. Just guess it. 550. 540. 535. I do. And then top. Normally I'd restart the stream, but I don't want to lose the codec. $95. Yeah. It's just the bottom. 100. 20. 40. That'll do. Live broadcast editing. Done it. Cool. So that means I just put chat down here. My other screen. Okay, so I'm back on chat now. Hopefully everyone can see the screen okay. And it is moving. Okay, sorry, I missed out a load on chat. You can't hear the music. Let's have a look. Let's turn up the music a bit. Oh, it's because also I turned it down on here. Okay, so hopefully that sounds better. I can hear that okay. Cool. Excellent. We can see you. Cool. Okay. All good. Just in time by the looks of it as well. 3 minutes left. Music's too loud now.
Hey guys, it's Jeff Keighley. We are a minute away from the reveal of Crash 4. Before we get to that, I want to thank Outer Wilds for that incredible musical performance. Crash is coming right up. Alf, yes, that Alf will be joining us. And we also have Day of the Devs, produced by Double Fine and I Am 8-Bit. Look at a ton of interesting, progressive, artistic, independent games across the entire game industry. You'll see first look trailers, brand new footage.
Excellent. Sounds like it's all working
really
in. Cheers, meme guy.
Heard of, but I think you're gonna like over an hour of content in Day of the Devs. But right now, things are getting started with the reveal and first look.
This is, by the way, the middle of the day for me, so the kids are still up. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. So if we do have to cut it short, because I don't know how long this is going to last. If we do have to cut it short, we'll cut it short.
Hey guys, it's Jeff Keighley.
Fortunately,
welcome to Summer Game Fest. We've got a great show.
We'll go for as long as I can go for.
I'm really excited to be doing yet another week of video game announcements. And one of the things... What is that sound outside?
I've got an extra special package for Jeff. Geo, Fef, Keglegs. I'm just messing with you. Jeff Keighley, come on out.
Not this again. I'm in the middle of a live stream right now. This guy always crashing my important shows. I'm going to see what this is, but let me tell you, it better be worth it. Crash, I really don't want the dirt that you have on Cortex.
No. This is the Crash 4 trailer.
For real?
For reals.
Well, it's about time.
Exactly.
Crash Bandicoot.
Here we go.
You banished me to the past. But all it did was give me more time to plan your doom.
So obviously the release of the remaster done so well that it actually gave them the power to go ahead and ask Activision to make another one. Looks nice. The danger is with these is that you don't want to give him any weapons because otherwise it blurs the line too much with Ratchet. But looks as though they kept it classic, which is good. Yeah, that's cool. October, that's soon.
How many times have you beaten this clown anyway? 3. Really? Only 3? Funny. Seemed like more.
Okay.
That's right. There's the big news.
Cool.
Crash for a brand
Looking
new
forward to it.
Crash game. It is coming this October. And right now I am joined by Paul from Toys
Don't
for
like
Bob
the
to tell us about
him
the
talking.
brand new
Like I
Crash
prefer
game.
Crash when he didn't
Paul,
talk.
We have been waiting for so long for something new from Crash. Of course, Activision has done some amazing remasters of the Crash trilogy and CTR, but this is a brand new Crash game built from the ground up.
That's right. It's hard to believe, but it's
I wonder if they're using the same engine and code base that they used for the remaster.
Finally unveil this secret that
How long
we've been
ago was
sitting
that?
on for a while. It's the brand
2 years ago now?
Crash 4, it's about
It was
time. And that's
maybe
it's a
2
play
years.
on the
I
fact
don't know.
that we've been waiting for so long, but also
Don't know. Maybe they did carry on with
Yeah, I want to get into it because
using the same engine.
Is filled with so much information.
I can't remember what they used for that. I can't remember if they used Unreal or
Crash, but
I think they might have used Unreal.
You guys had worked on, the
Let's have a look so I can find out.
But now to start with a new game, there's I'm sure so much trepidation about like what's going to be a worthy, follow on, calling it Crash 4. How did you guys approach this? Like, what kind of game did you want to build?
Yeah, I guess the first thing is we asked ourselves, where did we want to start? And though technically this is the 8th game in this series, all of the fan reception that was coming out of the Insane trilogy, we wanted to go back to the original trilogy and start from that. We're deliberately calling this Crash 4 because we want to keep it off of the original trilogy developed by Naughty Dog. And that was certainly a high point in the series, both critically and commercially. And so that's where the events are going to key off of. We're starting right at the end.
Looks like it might have been the Unity engine.
Cortex, Entropy, and Uku Uku have been banished to this distant planet, and they finally found a way. After many fruitless attempts, they found a way to break out, and in doing so, they've torn this gigantic hole in the universe and exposed the fact that there's a multiverse. So it's going to be up to the Bandicoots, Crash and Coco.
It's funny that
restore that order by
Ratchet and Crash both been revealed to have this multiverse
gameplay style. I think
sort of design decision.
Probably wondering, hey, Crash in 2020, how much of it is, the more linear, classic Crash levels, and of course now, like, people wonder, like, is it an open world Crash game? How are you doing it? Like, tell us about balancing kind of the old style of gameplay, which is certainly not broken.
Their stream
versus the tendency to do, new styles of gameplay. Based on the trailer, it looks like you're being kind of still faithful to the original style of Crash versus making it some big, 3D open world. But is that correct? Like, how did you approach the actual style of the gameplay?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I think what we've heard was that people have found that style of gameplay to be really refreshing to return to, and so we wanted to key off of that. And when we observed some of the other games,
the Crash Bandicoot games are quite simple to make as well.
You're totally right. They've gone to a place where they're a little bit more open in nature. And as
it's mostly artwork. That takes some time for these sort of things.
That you interact with, they're a little bit more
gameplay mechanic-wise is quite simple.
Exploration and maybe
that's cool. They've got some sort of gravity switching mechanic.
Collection and combat.
Yeah, look, you can drop down and go back up to the top.
Classic Crash gameplay,
changing the polarity of the gravity, which you can't do in Blueprints with Unreal. You can do it in C++, but not in Blueprints, at least not yet.
The platforming challenges, they come
maybe able to fake it,
almost a rhythmic quality to it, and how reliable it is. And I know that for me, when I learn a level and I understand the nuance of the timing and the placement of all the different hazards, you can enter into a sort of flow state when you understand that kind of musicality.
Multiple playable characters. How are you doing that? Is it kind of like by level, or how, like we saw?
I would always like to eventually get to the point of making a tutorial series on how to do like a Crash Bandicoot type game.
So Crash and Coco,
it's just fun to make
between them at any point in time, and they share the same moveset. Over the course of the adventure, you're going to encounter some new friends, some familiar faces, and you're right. There's going to be some new playable characters. We're teasing today Dr. Neo Cortex. He's got a completely different moveset from Crash and Coco.
Oh, you play
where the Bandicoots kind of barrel through and they've got the ability to spin and slide and belly slam. Dr. Neo Cortex is he's a little bit more of a cerebral character. He's a mad scientist. He's got inventions and he relies on his intellect. So he's got a ray gun that he carries around with him. And that ray gun has the ability to transmogrify hazards and enemies into platforms.
Yeah, multiplayer games are difficult to do, Victor.
A static,
online multiplayer anyway. That's why I always suggest don't ever think about doing multiplayer for your first game project.
So
wait till you are pretty much know what you're doing before you tackle multiplayer.
It's going to be a completely different flavor. It's going to be a little bit more strategic, a little bit more cerebral, and I think players are going to have to be a little bit more thoughtful about when to encounter a hazard, whether or not to change it into a platform, and what
you're right, Victor. Looks like they just copied the Mega Mind moveset
in the obstacle
for Cortex.
Wow, it seems ambitious that you're adding more elements.
I'll play
to
it. I'm a massive fan of Crash Bandicoot. I love Crash
Bandicoot. How do those work?
And I like
so
a good
the Quantum Mask, there's
platformer.
4 of them in this game, and
My son would like watching me play this as well.
They're
He's
scattered
only
across the
3,
universe.
but he
You're gonna
likes
have to
watching
rescue
me
them from
play games.
the clutches of certain bosses, both familiar and new. The Quantum Mask, 2 of them that we're talking about today, is the Time Mask and the Gravity Mask. And masks in this franchise, they've got a lot of personality. They've got their own names and their own voices and their own powers. So the Time Mask, her name is Kapunawa. And when Crash uses Kapunawa, he's got the ability to slow down time to a crawl. So for obstacles that are beyond, just way too fast to interface with at normal speeds, he's going to be able to slow things down. And
if that's going to be a thing that you can then use the masks
he'll be able
once
to
you've
get
unlocked
past
them
nitro
on
crates,
older
which have
levels.
traditionally been
They should do that if they haven't done that.
One kill
They should.
type of thing. But with the power of time, he's going to be able to slow things down, trigger that explosive, and then get out just barely before that explosion.
Turka is asking if I'm opening up a Discord channel. I do have a Discord channel, and it's for patrons only. Unfortunately, it's one of the perks of being a patron. So if you want to join the Patreon Discord channel, head over to patreon.com/RyanDaily.
Gravity and walk on the top of ceilings, walk upside down underneath platforms to get past impossible obstacles.
I'm really excited to play this, and again, I was playing Crash.
So that'd be where your secrets are hidden.
Came out. Activision's done a great job with the remaster.
If you're going to go back
to have a totally
and
new
revisit
game,
older levels with those new masks,
and you're bringing it to life. So congrats for doing this, and thanks for doing it.
It looks
even
nice.
From a work
It looks
from home
really nice.
situation. It's awesome to see, and can't wait to get to
a
play
lot of the
this
YouTube
year.
comments are saying they don't like the design of Crash, but I think it's fine. I don't like him talking. I think he should be quiet. But
so glad that we could reintroduce
the problem with
Crash
and the same problem with Sonic is that they try this fake coolness, which is like 90s level cool. It's on TV back in the 90s. It's not great.
Devs coming up shortly, but right now
Hi,
we're
Ian.
going to introduce you to Summer Game Fest tech correspondent. He is joining us from lockdown, and I'm really excited about this. Please give a warm welcome to Alf. Alf, how is your lockdown going?
You want to talk lockdown?
Yeah, Victor, I quite like the idea of having these worlds that have different gimmicks to them. I like gimmicked worlds and platformers. And then if you can go back and apply those gimmicks to older levels, that'd be really cool. That's really clever level design if you can do that.
Ready? Here they are. Tip number 1.
I don't know why they got Alf in
all the
this.
fur from your controller every 20
So
minutes.
weird.
Because there's nothing worse than getting your analog sticks jammed up with hair. Okay? That's a good one. Tip 2, don't charge your controller in the microwave. Bad idea. Learn that one the hard way. Tip number 3, don't play Warzone with E.T., all right? He cheats.
Whilst Alf is doing his bit,
how to use airstrikes.
does anyone have any questions?
Okay.
Leave them in, put them up in the chat, either on Twitch, Mixer, or YouTube, wherever you are.
Embrace the freedom.
Let us know if you have any questions whilst
someone's stream.
until we see some more indie games come up.
Things still to go. We are certainly not done yet.
Oh, I think you've been done ever since.
I don't know. I think it's more of an American thing.
Can I get
Alf.
some F's in chat?
Not so
for
much a
Kaylee's
British
career?
thing.
It's Keeley, not Kaylee, Alf. But thanks. Summer Game Fest tech correspondent, Alf. Thanks for joining us, Alf. We'll see you a little later. Right now, though, we have a special announcement about something coming new to Smite. Check it out.
Oh, cool. I literally played this like the other day on live. So, cool.
This world is in trouble.
I love
We
Avatar.
can't let this happen.
I love
They
Avatar
need
so
our
much.
help.
Yes. Ah, this is cool. I don't care if it breaks the idea of Smite being this god. I mean, Smite has been all about gods forever, for ages. So, oh yeah, man. What? No Toff?
All right, coming
Need
up
Toff.
next is Day of the Devs, but I understand, Alf, you wanted to come back on the stream already.
Since I have to stream for 24 hours on Twitch to become a partner, I might as well burn a few more minutes now.
Okay, what did you have in mind, Alf?
I want to talk to you about your fancy game consoles, because on Melmac, we were far more advanced in gaming technology. When I attended Reform School, I majored in software development, where I created what you Earthlings called Hatsune Miku. And no, it's not a sake.
Alf, we've got Day of the Devs coming up. Could you cut to the chase?
So I have to admit, I was a little confused last week when I was watching the PlayStation 5 stream and I saw everybody oohing and eyeing about all those fancy graphics. All right, now, don't get me wrong. The cat in Stray looked very nice. So realistic.
Yeah, Rob, that's so good we get to see Alf's impression of what's going on in the games industry. He is known to be a top game critic after all.
Ha! Ha! On Melmac, our cave paintings had more pixels. And in our version of Grand Theft Auto, you actually did
Why are they doing this?
time. Yeah.
That's cool about Avatar, though.
I still have 3 stars above my head in the Andromeda
Toph in there. You need
I hope you guys
Katara,
keep improving your games.
and they should definitely put
technology is
soccer
good
in there
enough,
as well. With his
maybe
meteor
I will
sword.
finally make my triumphant return to video games. Now, if you have any ideas, my DMs are always
Hell, we
open.
can make a whole game just on
At
like
least as soon as my
a whole
account is
smart spin-off with
unsuspended.
all
Now
Avatar
it's
characters,
time
and that'd be
for the
really
Day
great.
of the Devs Developer
Azula,
Showcase,
all that,
looking
yeah.
at a series of inspiring new independent games.
Cool.
Enjoy the show.
This is
and
what I
the
want to
rest
see,
of
all the
Summer
independent
Game
games, because
Fest.
these are ones are usually a bit more risky.
Recording the audio.
Where did these spider webs on here?
Oh, they're dead spider webs. And then I'm starting the video. So I'm starting the video, so you don't start the video. Saying this at me so I can do the clap. Okay?
Oh, right, okay.
Got me?
Yes.
Ready? Okay, now don't press start. Just wait for me to go here.
Good.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Tim's great.
Okay, action. Oh, hello there. You caught me airing out my skulls. I need to have them all ready for the big Day of the Devs Summer Games Fest. We're going to be showing a lot of cool games today, and you need the skulls to be at optimum performance. All right, I think we're set. This is a child's skull. Hello and welcome to the Day of the Devs Summer Game Fest Showcase. We're going to be showing you some great indie games today and letting you meet the developers. Day of the Devs is a show we've been doing in San Francisco for many years now, and this is a special summer edition coming right into your quarantined home for your safety. Before we get started with this show, we're going to take a look at the work of a group called Gameheads in Oakland, who we've been showcasing at Day of the Devs for a few years, and they do fantastic work, so check them out and think about donating.
Hey everybody, this is Damon Packwood. I am the executive director and co-founder of Gameheads. So Gameheads provides tech training to low-income students of color ages 15 through 25. We teach game design, development, and DevOps. But most importantly, we are committed to creating the next generation of diverse video game developers. We're trying to change the game, quite literally. So
good.
Today we want to show off some games that we're very proud of. The first up is Serpent Showdown. Serpent Showdown is a lighthearted 3D arena fighting game. It's created by a
snake wearing armor.
Called Persuasion Games. They're headquartered at USC. The team comes from a diverse range of backgrounds and life experiences. We're very proud that 3 of our students are on this team.
It's cool for a student project. It was good. Good job with the movement of the camera and the
next up is
particle effects when you're moving around. That's quite nice.
Trigger's a bullet hell mixed with a color matching game that incorporates an 80s inspired aesthetic arcade console experience.
It's nice. Another good one that's aesthetically pleasing. My only criticism would be the readability of some of the colours, especially on the ship that your player currently is.
It's
quite difficult.
Game, plays really well, looks.
Imagine it being quite hard to play.
It's obviously a lot of fun, so be on the lookout for that one.
It's good that they're giving this spotlight to these student games. A lot of student games go unlooked at, and these students need this sort of exposure to really boost their enthusiasm for the subject again. It's quite hard to get out there
really funny
and show off your game. It's a great way they're doing
It's
it.
created by an all black male team. Shout out to Tiati Suarez, Jovan Smith, Xavier Ward.
It's like dodgeball with special powers.
So that's it for me.
In 2D, just flip
Be on the
something,
lookout
going
for
left and
more
right, you just
information
scale it
on
in
these
negative.
projects on our
Same goes for
social
3D
media
as well. If you
or
scale something
on
in
the
negative, it
social
flips
media
it, and that's how they were
projects.
doing their
Also be on
character
the lookout
sprites,
for
flipping back and forth.
our showcase
So you don't have to
coming up in
model it
August.
or make it
Should
from
be
one point of view,
announcing that
and
in the
then you
next
just
couple
scale
of
it
weeks.
negatively,
Finally, if
and
you're
it'll make
interested
it
in
go the
getting
other way.
involved in the program as a mentor or as a student, you should find more information on that on
That's
our
cool.
website.
I didn't know
That's it
that
for
was
me.
a thing.
Thanks.
Gameheads.
You're going to want to
Obviously, I
turn
don't
up
even
the
know Glenn,
volume
but
for this
it's cool.
next one. It's from a developer called Beethoven and Dinosaur out of Melbourne in Annapurna Interactive, and it's just plain badass. It was created by a real-life rock star with a penchant for studded jackets named Johnny Galvatron. It's epic, it's personal, it's just so fucking cool. Seriously, turn up the volume. You will not regret it.
The Artful Escape. This thing looks amazing.
It's about a teenage guitar prodigy who embarks on a journey to craft his stage persona. It's called The Artful Escape.
Ah, that's beautiful.
Stuff gets pretty
It's
far
got this
out, but our story begins
puppet-like movement.
In Calypso, Colorado,
it looks like they've done like a
Francis
sprite work
Vendetti is on
on
the
a
eve of his first
it
live
looks like they've done sprite work on a 3D environment. A mixture of 2D sprites and 3D
Francis is the
environments.
nephew
That's
of
quite nice.
legendary folk
They've done
icon
a good job of that.
Johnson Vendetti, who's
It's very hard to
kinda like
pull
this
that off
universe's
without it
Bob
looking
Dylan.
too weird.
In these opening chapters of the game, we're introduced to Francis's hometown, the staggering legacy of his uncle's fame, and the impossible expectations.
Yeah,
of
Gaming
his
Job's
fans.
asking in Crash Bandicoot when you die and he turns into a ghost one, how they actually achieve that.
Many of the townspeople have opinions.
That could
even
be
memories
simply
of
another
Johnson Vendetti. They'll offer you
mesh
advice,
brought in. It just
history,
spawns that
and
mesh while
ill
destroying the
omens.
player mesh. You could change the player mesh and then take over it. I personally would destroy the player mesh and replace it with a static actor which just does animation up. That's what I would do. By the way, if anything you see here,
here,
during the live stream, you
exploring
want
Calypso,
to see
that
me do a
Francis
tutorial on,
begins
leave
to
it in the
suspect
chat, and
things are not as they seem.
I'll see with what I can do and consider it for future videos and future polls.
Now it gets cosmic pretty quickly for Francis in the pursuit of his new stage persona, and we join him in the world of Glimmerdim, searching for a jazz club that never appears in the same place twice.
Cool.
Out in the cosmic extraordinary, Francis can jam on his guitar at any time, using it to hover through the air, knee slide down slopes, and interact with a musical world.
See, I think even the creatures are 2D. It's just the environment that's 3D, I think.
The different dimensions of the
Can't-
Artful Escape
it's hard to
are
make
alive
out.
with creatures and foliage that will harmonize with your guitar.
I think they're 2D. Yeah. I know, maybe they're 3D. I can't tell.
We wanted the shredding of the game to feel powerful,
know.
effortless. The same way
It
some
looks like a load of
games
paper
depict
cutouts.
a mastery of combat.
Sat on top of like a 3D environment. That light up effect's cool. You walk past it, it lights up as you get near it.
Francis uses a musical language to communicate with the interfaces and creatures along his adventures. sometimes with jazz club owners like this. And sometimes with staggering cosmic
The art style in this is great. So much artwork. Look at that.
You can customize many aspects of Francis's persona, including his stage name, what planet he's from, discuss your backstory, and of course, change your stage costume. The Artful Escape is a loving mishmash of rock operas and adventure games and guitar solos. It's been a journey to create, and we can't wait for the final act.
Game's
Thanks
nuts.
so much for watching. That's all we've got right now. Except for this.
So we've been curating Day of the Devs for 8 years now, and it's been amazing to see the growth of the indie scene since then. And I think you'll see that here with this next game from Frozen Byte, Starbase, and it's like an amazing, huge, gigantic game. And I think you'll be very impressed.
Hello, I'm Pip.
And I'm Kai.
And we're from Frozen Byte and have been working on Starbase.
Starbase is our upcoming space MMO, set in a universe of vast scale, where everything is fully destructible.
I think I've seen clips of this before as well. They shoot parts of the ship off.
In Starbase, the players can use their own creativity to design and build their own spaceships, stations, factories, and more. Since the smallest building unit is a single bolt, even the small ships are made of thousands of parts, each with their own detailed damage model, which makes building, designing, and repairing a truly creative process.
That's cool.
It's based on a hybrid of voxel and vertex technology, which allows the players the ultimate freedom to both create and destroy in ways where every single tiny detail matters.
Okay. Did they say using a voxel technology? I guess it. Maybe, yeah. Voxels, by the way, are 3D pixels, like Minecraft.
However, damaged ship controls don't necessarily mean that the journey is over.
Used to bolt it as well into place, that's cool.
If reconnecting pipes and cables won't solve your flight issues, you can manually adjust the thruster and generator values in the engine room and continue on with your journey.
That's an insane level of detail.
Since Starbase is an MMO, player interactions play a big part of the
It's an MMO, wow.
You can build and design ships together, sell your designs to others.
This is quite impressive to have that level of destructibility, and building in an MMO is very difficult to accomplish. By MMO, I wonder what they mean by that as well.
And steal their cargo.
That's cool.
You can form factions, build huge capital stations, and engage in massive fleet battles and try to conquer the universe together.
Awesome. Man, this is a lot of work. How the hell? The reason why MMO would be difficult for this level of destructibility is that you're trying to replicate that data across multiple people. I wonder how much of it is being replicated and how much is being simulated. Well, what? Okay. Yeah, okay, so you see it's all voxel, so it's all blocky when you shoot through it. Still an insane level there.
The Starbase universe is infinitely expanding, and players can venture out to discover stations, asteroid fields, wreckages from previous battles, and they might encounter fellow travelers or even unknown dangers. You can even try your luck at being the first one to reach one of the faraway moons.
It's like Rapture on the moon. That's cool. I'll have to check that out. Voxel destruction on an MMO.
Later this year.
I ain't got a clue how technically you would do that.
Or trying out the game in its closed alpha stage, join our Discord server at discord.gg/starbase, and don't forget to wishlist the game on Steam.
Cool.
This next one is a collision of so many familiar trappings done oh so well.
This is why I like the indie stuff, because you get to see the weird and wonderful, the risky stuff. Yeah,
it just
so
features
cool.
Some of the coolest, most beautiful sprite animation you've seen in a while, especially that boss battle you're about to see. Ugh, it's awesome.
I'm Neha from Big Blue Bubble, and we made Foregone.
Dead Cells. This looks a lot like Dead
Foregone
Cells.
is a fast and fluid 2D action platformer packed with loot and a retro pixel art feel. In Foregone, you'll slice your way through hordes of enemies and collect an arsenal of powerful weapons, all the while unraveling the mysteries of the entity known as the Herald.
Caligan's first king, back when it was still a kingdom.
Yeah, this is... It's a very well done Dead Cells. It looks like it could be like a sequel to Dead Cells.
Foregone has been a passion project here at the studio for the last few years. After making mobile games to the better part
How
of a
gutted do you
decade,
think these
we wanted
guys
to make
were
something that reminded us of
to
classic
see
games
Dead Cells come out whilst they're working on this? They're like, oh, bollocks. It looks cool though, it looks good. They've done a good job on it.
We took cues from innovative games like Dead Cells to create a modern take on classic pixel platformers by using 3D animation to create a 2D experience that feels great to play. Inspired by classic games such as Prince of Persia and Castlevania,
Yeah, Prince of Persia.
we wanted
Victor just
Foregone
mentioned
to
that.
be a handcrafted adventure that players would progress through.
This
while
looks
unraveling
so much like Dead Cells. I'm not knocking it because it looks like, I mean, by me, do another Dead Cells type game. That's totally fine by me, but it looks a lot like Dead Cells.
We were also inspired by games like Diablo, where your character progresses through the game by discovering rare loot that helps you defeat mobs of enemies across the world.
Yeah, like Dead Cells. It's got a different environment. I mean, it's different style to it. You don't really get like people with guns.
During early access on the Epic Games Store, we've focused on expanding the scope of Foregone. Most recently with our June update, which introduces an all-new biome, the Creepy Catacombs, filled with new hordes of enemies and 2 new boss encounters.
The bosses look nice. I wonder if they did the same rendering technique as Dead Cells did. Dead Cells, it looks like a 2D game, but it's actually got the 3D graphics, and they've done their own custom shader, which made it look pixelated. So it makes them able to do really cool animation tricks, makes it a lot easier to do rather than doing hand-painted pixel sheets. This looks like it's using the same sort of tech. Yeah, Rob, if you go on, I think it's on Gamer Sutra, there's an article they did on it. And yeah, it's in it's all modeled and it's just rendered out separately as different sort of things.
What else we have in store
with a shader that makes it all pixelated.
Switch, PlayStation, and
It's a good article.
We hope you guys enjoy the game.
Next up is a psychedelic, furious, art-driven platformer, which is a real meeting of minds from art to code to music. It's real fun to stare at the melty, trippy graphics of this game. Allow me to introduce you to Spinch.
Spinch. Kind of, yeah. So it's kind of like Meat Boy. A few more stuff in it. I think it suffers from the readability issue again.
My name is Jesse Jacobs, and I'm the
because
creator
you've
of
got a
Spinch
lot of
in
colour,
partnership with
and you're
Boomlet.
trying to track this one little white dot. You can imagine that being quite a headache to follow.
Spinch is a psychedelic platformer game based on my artwork. You play as a Spinch, and you're on a mission to collect your missing babies. Because it may seem cool, but Spinch babies are used as ammo against the bosses. In this age of mass production, art plays a very valuable role, and Spinch was created to reflect these values.
Hey, I'm James Kirkpatrick. I made all the songs and the action sounds for the game Spinch. I used a modified Game Boy, some Circuit Band toys, some instruments.
Rob is probably liking looking at this. Rob, let me know in the chat how you feel about seeing this setup this guy has. It's cool. Loads of fun with it. Not my thing, but
next up is Inglet from Niflis. They've been making games for over a
I'll just say that
decade,
readability might be an issue there.
Beautiful audiovisual
a lot of stuff
soundscape
moving.
that is
You're
a
trying to track this
platformer with
white
no
dot.
platforms.
Hi, I'm Simon Stålhanske, and I'm the colleague of Niflas, who's the sole developer on Unglet. Niflas is known for working on games such as Knut Underground, Ernog, and Affordable Space Adventures. Both of us are from the small Copenhagen-based studio Triple Topping Games in Denmark. In Unglet, you jump between bubbles that float in the sky like you're a space dolphin. And all the while you melt into a highly reactive and dynamic soundtrack created by Unglet's custom.
I was going to say, the soundtrack sounds like it's adaptive. So an adaptive soundtrack is when the music is changing based on what you're currently doing in the game. So when you hit things, it does beats and chimes and things like that. You can basically play music as you're playing the game.
Unglet is a platformer with absolutely no platforms. If you aren't resting in a bubble for a moment, you'll be doing acrobatic dashing, bouncing, and rail riding to keep from plunging into the void. Difficulty is fluid
cool.
in Boomlet. With the granular difficulty settings, you
Like
can find the level of challenge that
it's trancing you, isn't it? It's just like you watch
Boomlet
it.
has
Like,
dynamic save points.
oh, that's cool. I like
you
that.
You decide whether to stop, take a little break and set a respawn point, or whether to blast daringly through the level, putting everything on the line.
Oh, are you aware of this then? Get a gaming job, or of their work anyway. Probably it does sound
has Copenhagen
familiar.
blood in its veins.
Wonder if I've
Each level
played
in
it before.
Boomlet is based on a location in the capital of Denmark, where our studio is also based. And in each level, you'll need to find one of your little friends and help them get home. Boomlet also has lightning storms, lots of achievables, an upside-down world, extra mini-levels, and lots of railroad tracks. A non-platformer to look forward to if you really like platformer games.
Alright, yeah, looks right.
Our next game is called
Had
Skate
good sound
Story,
design.
and I know what you're thinking. EA Motive just announced the sequel to Skate, but Skate Story is nothing like that, except it has the same reverence for real-world skateboarding, but it gets weird. It gets real weird. You'll see what I mean.
Hi, I'm Sam May. I'm a game developer here in New York City, and I'm making Skate Story.
Skate Story is a game about skating down into the underworld. You play as a glass skater trying to reach the center of the underworld. The world of Skate Story is filled with beautiful architecture that sprawls out in every direction. There are 9 layers underneath New York City, each of them governed by a sentient moon. You'll meet weird characters like hooded demons.
This is a weird
or rusty frogs,
progression
and you'll talk to
from
the
a
moons of the
skateboarding
sky.
game.
I'm trying to show skateboarding in a different sort of light.
Yeah.
I want to skate across beautiful, otherworldly structures and kickflip over a forgotten god's statued head. I grew up playing a lot of the classic skateboarding games, like Tony Hawk, riding around the warehouse in the school for hours, or Skate, or Ollie Ollie, or even new indies such as Session or Skater XL. The control scheme of Skate Story is a weird mix between all of my favorite skate games.
In Skate Story, you have to shift your weight before you do tricks. So, for example, in real life, to do a kickflip, you have to kind of position your foot over here before you flick the board to do a kickflip. So, I hope that in Skate Story, you actually see how it mirrors in real life skateboarding.
Oh, weird.
I'm still working on the game, and hopefully you like what you see. Thanks for watching.
That's impressive for one guy. That's good.
All right, next up is a game that exploded on Kickstarter recently called Black Book, a deck-building adventure game set in kind of a Slavic folk horror setting. Looks terrifying.
Hello, I'm Vladimir Beletsky from Martyoshka, the studio behind Black Book. Black Book is a story of a young witch who just recently received her knowledge of dark arts. With her, you will travel across mythical, authentic landscape of 19th century Eastern Europe and encounter mythical creatures, some of them friendly, while others not so much. The game is built around true Slavic folklore short stories called Belichki in the native tongue.
I can't get into adventure games like this. I really struggle.
These stories, along with the real region of Cherdyn, inspired us to create a setting where people coexist and sometimes even meet with otherworldly beings, some of which were never before referenced in popular culture.
I'm also not a personal fan of like the Slavic style that you see in some games. I always find it a bit too drab, a bit too dark foresty. It never sits with me. It's just something that just never goes along. Maybe I'm just too cheery. I don't want a dark story.
We took extra care to make sure that the core gameplay supports our narrative, and the narrative itself is as authentic as possible.
Oh, again.
Village has their own structure, has their own goals, and we try to convey that in our game. We feel that the unique Slavic setting and its lore have great promise when it comes to world building.
Just a reminder, guys, if you do see anything you like to sit at a tutorial on, leave a comment, chat. I'm interested always to see what people want to see tutorial wise. So if you see something you want to try and replicate in one of these videos, just leave it in a chat or comment, and I'll be happy to take it on board and put it into polls or make a video ahead of it. So it's like a turn-based deck. Okay, you did say it was deck building, wasn't it? So yeah. So you're using spells and tarot card type things. Oh yeah.
For us, Black Book is both a game and a cultural statement. We hope to show that niche folklore from all over the world can inspire, bring suspense and emotions to gamers even today.
This next game is all about teaming up with your friends to defend a village of vegetable pals from being eaten by wee beasties from the outside. It's made by the Molasses Flood, who are really good friends of ours at Double Fine and actually helped us out a lot with Psychonauts too in the early days. This is Drake Hollow.
Hey, my name's Forrest Dowling and I am the creative director on Drake Hollow, and this is Lou, who will not stop pestering me because she hears me talking. So she gets to sit in my lap for this. Drake Hollow is being made by the Molasses Flood, a company I co-founded a number of years ago, and we're best known for The Flame and the Flood, which was, our only title thus far.
Okay.
But I'm here today to talk about Drake Hollow.
Everyone's right here.
Nice.
All right.
Oh,
who got the chest? Oh, who's getting it?
Oh, it's me. Ooh.
So it's a cooperative.
We call it an adventure action village building game.
Okay.
So I think today I'm going to head to the southeast.
I like the art style.
Go try and find that.
This is my sort of art style. I like the hand painted.
When we started working on this,
sort of
we
design.
had previously worked on a pretty hardcore survival game, and what I wanted to try is just making a game that explored a lot of the same ideas, but it wasn't so much about you surviving as it is about you taking care of something and helping it survive. It's a game about taking care of things, and that's where the concept of the Drakes came about. They're sort of the heart of the game. They're these kind of charming little vegetable goblin creatures that are kind of dopes. Like, they need your help. They need you to build them places to sleep and provide food to eat and entertainment for them.
Seems like our drakes could use a little more entertainment. Let's see what I can build them.
Straight to the disco floor.
Of course.
Nice.
Your favorite.
Good menu
It's a
design.
masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and clean.
Oh, are you gonna dance? Aw, yeah.
So your job is to do all those things and to take care of them, and you can bring.
Oh, thanks, Imogen. I look forward to seeing your splash screen.
Certainly, and it's a really big part of the game. It's something that's been one of the pillars since we conceived it.
Yeah, by the way, guys, if you do any games you make and use any of my tools to help you make it, share it. I'd be happy to do a video on the games you guys are making. Ideally, I want to eventually get to the point where I can do like a showcase of people's work and what they can do and what they've managed to do as their first, second, third projects, whatever it may be. It'd be really cool to put that all together. Just show the community, try and build that community vibe up. So yeah, by all means, let us know what work you're doing.
That's true. That's fair. I'd be scared too. Oh no! We can revive you. Right in the middle of combat. There you go.
Thanks. What a favor. Just got juggled.
Close up you know.
That's it. I'm out of here.
Nice, I like this. It's clean.
Oh, yeah,
That's what I like about it. It doesn't seem
exploration, there's
busy.
Building, there's rescuing drakes. And
There's a tendency of
battling
survival
monsters.
games like this to
So,
get quite
I hope you
systems
enjoy it.
heavy
It's not.
and kind of suck the fun out of it a little bit. Nice
Retro
logo.
throwback games are all the rage, but they are hard to nail. 8-bit,
By the way, if
16-bit
this camera
era
goes
stuff,
off, it's because it's
not
using
all
my
developers
phone
know how to
and the
do
battery's
it
at
right.
12%.
But there's one in particular
If it
that
goes
we've been
off,
showing
that
since
is
the
why.
very
Might
beginning
still
of
know,
Day of the Devs
that's
8 years
separate.
ago. Their name is Tribute Games, and they're out of Montreal. And fun fact, the core creatives that made the Scott Pilgrim game in-house at Ubisoft broke away and founded Tribute. Here's their latest retro opus.
Hey everyone, my name is Frédéric Gemus, and I work as a designer at Tribute Games, and today I'm here to present you our latest game, Panzer Paladin. Massive weapons are raining down from the skies, releasing hordes of demons, and it is your job to travel the world and stop them from invading the planet. Today, we are visiting Egypt, where we'll be fighting Anubis, the weapon keeper of the region. Oh, and as you noticed, the game is boasting some pretty rad pixel art visuals for maximum nostalgia triggering goodness. In Panzer Paladin, you play as Grit, a giant power armor.
Whenever a game goes for this sort of retro style, the thing I always look for and hope for is that they do the retro style, but they apply modern technical feats to it that you couldn't do back in the day. Action Verge done a very good job of that because they use shaders and particle effects that you just couldn't do back then, but can do now. So incorporating that with the old stuff really gives it a really unique look.
In that case, a sweet healing spell. As for weapon attacks,
because the problem with doing retro games like this is that there's lots of them in the current market,
which acts as a double jump.
But also a lot of them in the old retro market. So if it is hard to find a game now, imagine it being combined in games library from now and back then. So it's trying to stand out from a crowd that existed years ago and the current crowd that's forming around it.
Throwing weapons at enemies
So
or breaking them
throw
against
in
volatile
some
spells is part of what makes
cool
Panzer
shader
Paladin
tech. That'd
so
be cool
much fun.
to see.
But perhaps your greatest weapon in the game might just be Flame, the squire that pilots the paladin from the inside. She can eject to sneak into tight spaces, or to recharge the power armor when it's low on energy using those tanks. She can swing from rings with her laser
There's
whip,
stuff in here
or
that
use it to strike demons as well.
I don't know if you could do
But,
back then.
as you can see, she can't pick up the demonic weapon, as only Grit can do so. Flame can eject at any time, and you could even play the whole game as her if you'd like. You can sacrifice a weapon at these pedestals to create a checkpoint. Checkpoints are well worth it, mainly when you encounter creatures like this one. This is the Horseman. If you hoard too many spirit weapons, the mythical creature will come to fight you. A perfectly timed block, followed by an attack, will open up any enemy's
Hi, Danger
defense and
Sideburns,
create a
you're
parry.
welcome.
You can also use the backdash, a lightning quick move that will dodge almost any attacks, especially those unblockable energy attacks. The Horseman is a powerful enemy that you'll encounter multiple times in the game, truly challenging your swordplay skills as you progress. And by defeating the Horseman, you will be rewarded with the mysterious weapon from the Blacksmith, a weapon created by the community. With the Blacksmith, you can forge anything you want. You simply need to
that's cool.
draw the pixel art using our simple-to-use tool, name your creation, and allocate the points to the different parameters in spell. Once saved, your friends, family, and the whole Panzer Paladin community will have access to your pixel-crafted armory.
That's cool.
Set our slice of world record in the speedrun mode. Replay all levels and try to beat your friend's time, the community's best, or just your own.
So the way you
Find
do that in
shortcuts,
Unreal is
maximize combat techniques,
you build the system to make the artwork, then you
discover
store
new
that
ways to
artwork
save
as an
time.
image, and you can
Earn medals,
save that image
and
out
place your
to
name
a
high
server,
up on the
and then when you
leaderboards.
load up the game, you can download textures from a
Panzer Paladin
server.
is packed with 17
It's quite simple to do.
carefully crafted
Download
levels,
textures
each
from
with a
a
unique
web
boss, protecting
server.
a powerful weapon for you to seize.
But that's how you would
By
do stuff
completing
like
your
that.
first run of the game, you'll unlock
Community-led
the remix
artwork.
mode, where you can access alternative versions of all of
It'd
the
be cool if you
levels,
could put
upping
like
the
skills and
difficulty
abilities on the
and
weapons
doubling
as
the
well,
fun.
making them really unique.
Yep,
That'd be
that's a
fun.
whole lot of side-scrolling action. The game is set to release this summer for Steam and Nintendo Switch, so keep an eye out for tribute games on all of
Alright.
the major social networks, and add the game to your Steam wishlist.
That'd be a good one for Switch.
Hope you enjoyed today's presentation, and stay safe, everyone.
No, your stream is not broken for this next one. It's definitely in black and white. There's not a lot you can say about this game. It's super unique, it sounds awesome, and it's unlike anything you've ever seen before. And it's from a developer named Games for Ghosts, which is a name that will make sense in about 3 seconds.
Hey, this is Jean Davet from Games for Ghosts, and I'm happy to present our work in progress computer game, Audit Garage. Audit Garage has been in the making on and off since about 2018 and is created by myself and Richard Peterson. I handle the artwork, sound and creative direction, and Richard makes it all function and magically come together.
Yeah, like a
with
fake
programming and
computer.
technical side.
Game within a game.
Audit Garage has taken many forms in its evolution over the years, and what started out as curious experiments with drawings and sounds has turned into a music production adventure game.
A music production adventure game.
Taking
Another one for you,
inspiration
Rob.
from games such
Lots
as
of
Myst,
music
King's
stuff
Quest,
related today.
Plug and Play to Samros 3, Richard and I eventually decided to put all our experiments under one roof, interconnect all these disparate audio-visual toys that allow you to create an evolving musical loop. So is this a spooky game? Well, not really. It's haunted in the sense that you're not exactly sure who's in control or what the state of reality or context is.
Weird. What a weird,
and Garage
weird
as in
game.
a place where dreams are realized.
It's just a funky visualizer and music maker.
And not to attention and practice. You're also creating your own evolving soundtrack to this strange little pixel adventure game, where you explore and discover new instruments and artifacts to add to your collection. This game is definitely about making music, but it's also about puzzling over and manipulating these little contraptions we've designed to have limited functionality, but many variables and combinations. Audit Garage aims to allow players to have a comfortable, creative experience. Unlike traditional digital audio workstations that can overwhelm beginners easily, the instruments in Audit Garage provide you with a fun and non-intimidating environment to become acquainted with musical concepts, while also providing enough room for more experienced musicians to flex their creative skills within the limitations. So far we have only really scratched the surface in terms of what we want to make possible. We have a substantial amount of devices, artifacts, and interactive vignettes that have already been designed and waiting to be implemented. Besides Adventure Mode, we plan to introduce other game modes that will allow players to construct and capture their own full songs and packaged releases.
It's cool, man. That's neat.
Audit Garage version 1 is by no means a finished product, and many corners still need to be ironed out. But what we have achieved thus far is the groundwork for what we see as an exciting new adventure gaming experience. Whether it's just about going along for the ride and adventuring, or spending hours mastering your skills and crafting your perfect little jingle and sharing it with your friend.
It's a weird game. It's cool though. You build your own sort of soundtrack as you rock about with the game.
Next up is the Eternal Cylinder from Ace Team in Chile. They've been making games for a long time, all the way back to Xenoclash, and they have a very unique personal house style I think you'll see reflected here, and it's a bonkers game.
Hello, I'm Carlos Bordeo from the studio Ace Team, the people who made Rock of Ages and Xenoclash, and I'm here to talk to you about the Eternal Cylinder, our upcoming game. It's an adventure survival game, but very different to anything out there on the market. You play as these little creatures called the Trebon. They're like a family of creatures who are born in this very surreal and alien world. The main obstacle, the main thing about the game is that it has this huge cylinder which is crushing the entire world, destroying it.
Oh, yeah. That's scary. See it, that giant. Look at that.
And you have to keep on moving forward and discovering about your family, your race, what's going on the world, where does the cylinder come from.
Whoa, okay, that's crazy. Just a giant cylinder. Yeah, sort of like it's a battle royale almost.
This time, the discovery of a new statue and the knowledge it granted was not a surprise, but a welcome sign that there was someone waiting for the Trebon. As soon as they completed the trials, of course, as was only appropriate.
It's definitely a big game and an ambitious title for Ace Team. We really want people to explore this world and looking forward to completing the
World
project.
looks nice. I like it. I like the creepy cylinder. Definitely something different. Whoa, that's cool. Yeah, I'm down for that. That looks cool. I'm trying to think of how you
Probably
do
heard
that
of
cylinder, because
Flow,
that looked like it went on
Flower,
forever.
Maybe even Journey. They're called That Game Company,
yeah.
and their latest project has been an ongoing social experience experiment that's gathered the attention of a lot of players. It's altruistic, it's compassionate, it's exactly the kind of hopeful gameplay experience that we all could use a little bit of right about now. And they've got an exclusive first look at something they've been planning for a while, just for Day of the Devs.
We are honored to be part of
5% on his camera.
and Summer Game Fest. Like you, we're excited to see what indie creators and studios have been up to. It is always great source of inspiration.
I think I've seen
and
clips
gives
of
you a
this
recharge
when
on
they've been doing like
hardworking
testing
indie
for it.
developers. We're so proud to see the fast-growing indie community and filled with gratefulness from the amazing players worldwide who have been supporting us over the years. As Sky approaches 1-year anniversary, we'll launch a new season, which comes with new stories, characters, and most importantly, a relaxing vacation that we all miss.
It's my phone camera, and I don't have an extra plug socket to plug it into. The laptop's plugged into it, the TV's plugged into it. I can't plug it in, I don't think.
Thank you.
I wonder if I can. Be right back. I'm gonna see if I can get my USB 3 cable. Hang on, be right back. USB-C cable out.
It's no secret that the team at Double Fine loves a really good point-and-click adventure, and this one from
See if
Whalestalk
this will work.
Interactive looks like a really, really cool expression of the genre. It's moody, it's woodsy,
I have one
it's spooky,
USB-C
and it's really
port.
beautifully animated. This is The Night is Grey.
Hey there, hope everyone is doing okay. My name is André
Right, let's
Bloa,
see if that
and I'm
holds
the
it off for a
creative
bit.
director at Whalestalk Interactive. I'd like to show you
Covered
The
in
Night
cables
is
at the
Grey.
moment. Okay. Is this like another Slavic adventure game?
In this cinematic thriller, you play as Graham, who is being followed by strange wolves in the woods, until he finds a cabin with a little girl abandoned by her mother.
Again,
You suspect
not
the worst
interested in
has
these
happened,
games.
And now you're responsible for the child's survival in a strange night that keeps getting stranger. We tried for a somewhat surreal and creepy atmosphere. Besides being a lovable character, Anna is also part of a game mechanic. As you explore
To
scenarios
determine
and
if
with the help,
a
you have to
character's
fix
inside a
something on your
building,
own,
if you're doing a side
carrying
scroller
on around.
and you want the wall in front of the character to disappear, you do a line trace between the camera and the player character. If it is blocked by a wall, you make that wall's material fade away.
any adventure game, you have to solve puzzles to progress. No pixel hunting, we promise. We are trying to reach the sweet spot between frustration and accomplishment by changing up the pace.
The problem this game has is that when the character isn't moving, it has a lot of character and personality. But as soon as you start doing the walking animation, it's a canned animation. It just sucks that personality you just delivered right out of it. It needs to be a lot more dynamic in that animation. It needs to show more personality. At the moment, it's just a standard walking animation, and it's kind of boring.
Day of the
So
Devs gives us a chance to highlight really personal stories.
I think they just need to improve the animation
unique
on that
point of
walk
view.
cycle to make
And
it a
this
bit
title
better.
From super hot and Australian
It looks like
developer
it's like
Andrew Brophy
and
really
then
is a good example.
must walk now.
It's super weird.
Makes no sense.
Welcome to the messed up future of Knuckle Sandwich.
Hello, my name is Andrew Brophy. I'm a game designer from Melbourne, Australia. I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to show you what I'm currently working on. It's a video game called Knuckle Sandwich.
Get a gaming job. They're probably dialogue text were probably, I can't remember what they look like now, but they're probably widgets in world space. Yeah.
I would describe it as a personal game, hiding inside an offbeat, turn-based RPG. It's set on a fictional island off the southeast coast of Australia, where players will find themselves assuming control of a young man who moves to the island and gets wrapped up in the lives of all the people that live there. Along the way, you'll have run-ins with a dangerous gang, a fanatical cult, and a heap of other island residents. As I mentioned earlier, Knuckle Sandwich features turn-based battles. They function pretty much exactly how you would expect, except all special abilities are replaced with a huge variety of minigames.
So it's like Undertale. With a bit of WarioWare. Oh yeah, it's like they WarioWare's an RPG. I haven't played Yukai Watch. I don't even have ever seen it either.
Anyway, that's Knuckle Sandwich in a nutshell. I hope you dig it. Thanks.
This is a really exciting
Okay.
one to end on. Nice final beat here. Sea of Stars
Okay, so end
from
one.
Sabotage, the creators of The Messenger. Fans of Chrono Trigger will be very excited about this one. And if you haven't seen this on Kickstarter, you should check it out because they've been sharing a lot of really awesome behind-the-scenes footage.
Hey everyone, My name is Thierry Boulanger. I'm a creative director and co-founder at Sabotage Studio in Quebec City, Canada. About 3 months ago, we revealed our next game through a Kickstarter campaign, and we were blown away by the response. Our new game is called Sea of Stars. It's a turn-based RPG inspired by the retro classics. And so much has happened since then. Even though it's only been 3 months, we had Yasunori Mitsuda, the Chrono Trigger's composer, who joined the team as a guest composer. And also we're working on a playable demo, which is coming out just next month for backers. And we were also invited by Summer Gamefest to celebrate with them by putting something together. So we were delighted by the opportunity to work on an updated trailer to show some of the polished up animation we've been doing, and also give a bit more screen time to a character that some people felt endearing and wanted to see more of. And so, you know, with everything going on in the world, it seems our duty as entertainers finds new purpose, and so we sincerely hope that you will find
Everyone has really nice offices, I've noticed, in these things.
Stay safe, everyone.
I'm stuck in the kitchen at the moment, on the dining table. See, those lighting effects you can't do on old consoles, so that's what I mean by taking the retro art style but applying modern technology to it. So that lighting is a good example of applying that modern technology. And it instantly makes the game a lot more memorable and make it feel more modern because of it. Good pixel art, and I say that lighting really sells it. It's really good.
We tricked you. We have one more surprise. It's a world exclusive, and it's from the creator of Pinout and Smash Hit. These are games that have literally been downloaded hundreds of millions of times. This is the creator's first console title, and it is trippy as hell.
Work out what I'm watching here. What is going on? I don't know. I ain't got a clue what to say about that one.
That's it for this installment of Day of the Devs, but we'll be back in July with another Summer
That's
Game
good.
Fest developer
I enjoyed
showcase.
seeing. I say indie games are always cool to see and always cool to talk about. They always do something weird and wonderful stuff. You wouldn't see the stuff in the PS5 or the Xbox Series X streams or anything like that. It's good fun they put it together.
PlayStation, Idea, Xbox, Nintendo, Epic Games Store, Steam. It takes a village of humans to make a digital event of this caliber happen, so thank you for all your support. And special thanks to Dose One, rapper, poet, composer, for lending his sounds to our soundtrack for today's broadcast. His music is dope, check it out. But stay tuned. Summer Game Fest Developer Showcase is not over yet. We've still got some surprises in store.
Thanks for you for watching, and thanks for all the developers around the world who submitted games. Bye.
I think the stream's going to carry on with stuff, but I'm going to end my part here and just take some questions from some people.
I didn't clap.
So
Oh, just take a video when you clap.
Well, no, it has to be in that stream. Did you stop yours?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you.
let's see if there's anything.
You're the best. Thank you very much.
Okay. Just gonna turn it down a bit. Okay, so yeah, it's good. I like seeing the uniqueness of that lot. That's good. A lot of unique titles. Very interesting to see. So if you got any last questions you want to ask, pop up and chat. We're going to end things off in a moment. So get a gaming job. What would be my suggestion for the best general way of asking for a thorough tutorial of something in particular? If your favourite YouTuber isn't interested, go to some forum or offer some money. If you want to get a individual, if you're talking about me, I don't know if you're talking about me or not, but if you ask if you want to get a thorough tutorial like a walkthrough of how to do something from a particular person, talk to that person first and see if they offer anything like one-to-one tuition like that. I for one do offer one-to-one tuition if I'm available to it. Currently I am available. I'm working out a system to to advertise it clearly, or not when I'm available, and not to do one-to-one stuff. But I have done it in the past for some people, so just get in touch with whoever you want to talk to. And that goes in general for everything. So if you want to find out any information from anyone in particular, just directly ask them. They're not gonna bite your hand off. If the worst they'll say is no, which isn't gonna kill you, so you're fine. How does logic juggling characters in fighting games work? I don't know if you can talk about it. How would you do that? I mean, it would just be a character's capsule in the air, and you just do if you do an attack whilst they are in recovery mode, whilst falling as well, you knock them up in the air a bit more. You need to set up a sort of mode to set up a type what the character's current state is, whether they're in attack mode, recovery mode, sorry, they've just been hit or taken down, or idle, I don't know, whatever you want to do. And then when you hit them and knock them up in the air, you want to check if they're falling and that mode. If they're in recovery modes, i.e. like falling backwards and falling, then you can hit them again, then it'll do another juggle in the air. You just launch them in the air again. Using launch character, by the way, that's the node you use to launch a character in the air. Energy CC, I don't know if it's the best place to ask, but I'm having trouble with animations in Blender for Unreal. I don't know where to go find help with that. Animation is a long topic. There's whole people dedicated to that, so it's hard to know exactly where to point you towards. If you have any idea, if you're talking about like character animation or I don't know, object animation, I don't know, what type of animation is it? I know some stuff in animation, so if you want to ask, I can try and answer it. If I can't, then obviously I say I can't. Okay, everyone. I think we're gonna have to give it to the end now. So thank you all for joining me tonight. This afternoon, or this morning if you're in America. Join us next time for another live video. Doing a live stream this weekend. We're going to do Minion AI that you've seen in MOBA. So check that out this Saturday. More videos coming out this week for patrons and YouTubers, so check out YouTube, and if you're a patron, stick on to Patreon. So lots of cool stuff coming out. Other than that, thanks for joining me tonight. I keep saying tonight. This afternoon, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.